Hi everyone, good evening. Today we are on 2nd of May 2025, and over the last 15 days, the biggest news in the market was the spectacular fall of Gensol Engineering Ltd. How it went from being one of the poster boys of electric vehicles and green revolution to being the latest corporate scam to happen. Now, while we may all debate how it happened, why it happened, and how we could have traced it, I found one particular item which told me that as far back as 2022, this fraud had started happening, and it just grew from there. To know what that one item is, just watch the complete video, and I'm sure you'll be more than intrigued by it. So before we get into what that one point is, I have one request to make. We try to put out quality content and quality financial advice through our channel, and the only thing which we ask you is to just hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel and helps me in terms of reaching out to a wider public. That's the only thing which I'll ever ask you. With that out of the way, let's quickly get into what was that one thing which I found out, which told me that there is something wrong going. Now, you must have read through all the financial reports that how somebody actually went to the factory and figured out that there was no production going on, and that triggered the discovery of the fraud. You and me, the general public, really don't have that, opportunity to actually visit to the factories and to actually see the production plant and figure out whether their claims are matching with the things on the ground or not. What we do have are the financial data, which the company discloses on a regular basis. And what we have is our common sense. So anybody, and I will blame the rating agencies and the auditors for this, anybody who can see the financials and read through the financials can see one glaring issue which I discovered. How the auditors missed it, how the rating agencies missed it, and how did the promoters convince them of this particular financial entry or accounting entry is beyond my understanding and beyond any kind of business accounting principles that I can think of. Now, what was that one entry which really told me that Gensol Engineering is indeed falsifying its accounts? Something is not right there. That one entry was something called unbilled sales, which was booked as a part of the revenue. Now, what is unbilled sales, and how can it be a part of the sales which the company is claiming? This itself is a question which astounds me, which confuses me no end. And when this thing is abused, Gensol happens. If you look at the data which is put up on the screen now, I have consolidated last 5 years revenues and that heading called unbilled sales as a part of the revenue. Now, as we can see, 2020 revenue was 75 crores and unbilled sales was hardly anything, 0.22 crores, 0.3% of the overall sales. That's still fine, but the same number in 2022 really jumped up. From a 153 crore revenue base, almost 11 crore was unbilled sales. Now that still is understandable because it is less than maybe 1 month's sale. Okay, last month's sale has to be billed and that is considered as unbilled sale. I might have produced solar electricity in the month of March, which I will actually end up billing in April. That's fine, that's understandable, because that's 7% of sale. But the same exact number in 2023 jumped from 11 crore to 106 crores. from a 7.1% of sale to 28.7% of sale. Now almost 30% of your total sale is unbilled sales. That's atrocious. How did the auditor accept this? How did the rating agency accept this? I have no clue. I absolutely fail to understand. So my understanding is, since the auditors accepted it last year, whatever the logic behind it, the promoters simply milked it and the promoters abused it in 2023. Why? Most probably, and it is again a speculation which I have, to show profits for the year, to show that the company is doing great, and so on and so forth. Out of 371 crore sale, 106 crore was unbilled sales. One more angle to this is, out of 371 crore sale, you made a PBT of 33 crore. But your actual sale was 265 crores, 106 crore less. So if I remove the unbilled sale from the PBT number, the actual profit was a negative 73 crores. Same got abused again in 2024, where the unbilled sales number jumped from 106 crore to 241 crore. Again, 25% of your sale. That means 3 months worth of business sales was unbilled sales. Now that's crazy accounting. And what I personally believe, that in addition to the promoters, the auditors of the company, the internal CFO of the company who made these adjustment entries, the auditors who accepted these entries, are as much to blame for this fraud as the promoters. So this is what I found in the accounting sales, and it was apparent, it was out in the open, and everyone could have seen this. But as usual, all the research agencies, all the people who were recommending the stock, all the so-called stock advisory agencies, they all came out with their advisory of buying this stock without looking at this number. Not one person pointed this out. And this is the issue. So what's the conclusion? The conclusion is that you, the retail investor, please, there is no shortcut to investing. You have to look at the financials and look at such glaring accounting shinghanias, which are visible to the naked eye, which is blatantly there, put up by the promoters, and out is visible for everyone to see, and figure out the frauds. With that, we'll end the video. Until next time, thank you.